So we're back. Thanks again to Bean Media for housing us and giving us milk and bread to survive on for our lives. So, the zoo is having a little suckle of a zipple.
Hello.
We've
I'm
got
back.
our last two. We've got the top 5 good, bad movies. So that is movies that were intended to be pretty good, but were actually bad, and they were so bad that they actually were good. I'll let you kick us off here with your 5th good, bad movie for the Halloween special.
Thank you, Crypt Keeper.
Female Crypt Keeper.
The female Crypt Keeper. I'm gonna do this next one as bait.
Okay.
No. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Okay.
Michael Myers isn't even in it. When I first saw this movie, it was the worst movie I've ever seen. I was so fucking pissed off. Obviously, I didn't see it when it first came out because I wasn't even born yet. But, you know, when I did see it, Michael Myers isn't even in it. You can't have a Halloween movie without Michael Myers. He's the whole point of the fucking Halloween movies. So that was a very disappointing movie in the beginning. But then you kind of learn to like it because it's so bad that it's good.
Yeah. I'll have to check it out.
Give me your number 5, bro.
This is sort of like a combination because I consider them similar. One came after the other, but I just looped them into their own to... This was tough for me. This was one of my favorite categories, so I actually have more than 5. So I kind of had to do some things, but The Ring, which you mentioned, that makes my list. We already talked about it for good, bad. I just thought it was still good.
Is this an honorable mention? Don't know why I put my hand here. Like,
I'll say that The Ring and The Grudge make my honorable mention for this category.
The Grudge, that was Sarah Michelle Gellar. And they were both like Japanese movies.
Yeah, they were both rip-offs.
Yeah.
So that's why they make my good bad, because they were already ripped off. So they're only honorable mentions. So technically, now I only have 6. So they made my honorable mention. So let's hear your... No, wait, I still got to do my 5th.
You got to do your 5.
House of Wax.
Okay, the newer one?
Yeah.
Or the original?
With Chad Michael Murray and Paris Hilton, and then that one dude...
Check out a previous episode for a funny story about Chad Michael Murray.
Check it out. House of Wax, though, I don't know. There's something aesthetically pleasing about that movie. It must have been because it was so big budget, but like, it's an awful, awful movie, but it's so fun to watch.
Paris Hilton, right?
Yeah. It's just, and also Alicia Cuthbert's in that too.
Love her.
Smoke.
She gets fucked up in that movie, though.
Oh yeah, she's a smoke.
Doesn't she like get a finger cut off or something?
She gets yeah. She's like, and then the guy's like squats down and just snips it right off and puts it in his pocket.
That's so fucked.
What's your number 4, good bad?
My number 4, good bad, Freddy vs. Jason.
It's a great movie.
Great movie.
Great good bad movie.
You saw that one in theaters.
Ooh, Mr. Butterknives.
Yeah,
Kelly
dude.
Rowland.
Oh my God.
That line became famous. Like, ooh, Mr. Butterknives.
Yeah, there's like memes and shit. Yeah, there's tons of shit for that.
We said it a lot.
That's a great movie.
But it was still good. I mean, pretty scary.
That was like thinking outside the box. Like,
1, 2, 3's coming for
so
you.
good. Because you got a little bit of both. Like, you had like a little segment where it was like a Freddy movie.
Yeah,
Then
then
you
they
had a little
fight at the
segment
lake.
where it looked like a Friday the 13th movie. And then, then they both go at it. Like, that was really cool. Those fight scenes were pretty fucking
The
good.
fight scenes were...
I mean, it's classified as a horror movie. Obviously, it wasn't scary. But, well, actually, there was a couple parts in it that were pretty scary. But overall, that's definitely turned out to be a good movie.
My number 4, good bad. We have touched on this in the past on the pod also.
Really?
Paranormal Activity.
Okay.
It almost made my scariest because the first time I saw it, technologically, that movie... Now, kids out there, when that movie first came out, it was just like early in the security camera era. So it was interesting and creative of an idea to have that stuff show up on tape like that. I thought it was pretty scary. I look back at it, I find humor in them, but I still find them to be scary, so they make my good bad list.
That's a cool choice. I wasn't thinking that.
Only because you call them bad movies, they make the good bad list.
The good bad list. My number 3, Jaws 3D.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Dennis Quaid's in it. Lou Gossett Jr.'s in it.
Okay.
The black dude from Iron Eagle, and a bunch of other stuff. It's just so bad, dude. So it's like one of like the earlier 3D movies that came out. So they really didn't know how to do it. And they have Jaws coming at them, and it's literally a picture of Jaws that's just getting closer. Nothing is moving. It's just a still image of Jaws getting closer to this glass, and he just runs into the glass and it just shatters. Like,
that reminds me of
no
Deep Blue Sea.
Terrible.
Do you remember the movie Deep Blue Sea?
I do, and I actually like that movie.
It wasn't bad.
It's well, no,
That's
I shouldn't
scary.
say like, but
That was scary. Didn't make money on my list, but that was scary.
anything that involves animals or sharks is definitely interesting.
And I just did an adjustment over here. I just switched.
I saw you looking down.
I just fucking
deep
flipped.
thought.
I flipped one from my good bad list over to my best made. Because who gives a fuck? Because it's the Halloween special.
Who gives a fuck?
My number 3 good bad movie is the movie Wrong Turn.
Oh, Alicia Dushku.
Elijah Dushku, bro.
Dushku.
Don't talk about
Oh,
the
okay.
smokes
Okay, though,
unless
take
you're
it
going to
easy,
say
okay, man?
Elijah Dushku, though.
Just
Big
take
crush.
it easy, okay? Take it easy.
Big crush. If you have kids out there, check out the movie The New Guy. Elijah Dushku does a little scene in that movie where she does some bikinis try-ons. It's like childhood memories. But she's in the movie Wrong Turn, and that movie's good.
That's a good movie.
It's bad, but it's good.
Honorable mention, which reminds me, The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh! Didn't even put him on any of my lists. Have you ever seen the original? Have you ever seen the old one? The old one is still good.
I haven't seen the old one.
My
I
brother
heard
got
about
it for me on DVD back in the day. It's still good.
Actually, you know what? I did.
It's got the
in
one
that-
guy with the weird face
Yeah,
from
and he
Weird
was in
Science.
yeah, that's what I was just about to say. That's how I remember I saw it.
It's still good. And they copied it pretty much like, not like, word for word or whatever, but it's pretty close to the original.
Yeah, that was fucked up. That dude with the hair lip, what a fucking scumbag. When I say move, move.
The first Hills Have Eyes was awesome. The
I
second one...
never saw the second.
Second one was still good, I think. And then I think they made a third one, and that one got really fucking weird. There was like a real rapey scene. Like, implied rape in movie, that's one thing. Full-on rape in movie, that's not horror.
Didn't they? In the first one, they did.
I don't think... Yeah, but it was still implied. There's like things that are done in movies that are like implied sexual assault, like, oh, it's about to happen and then it stops. I'm not a fan of full-on rapey in movies.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Because that actually, not making any list, almost made weirdest, but I didn't even qualify it. But Last House on the Left doesn't even make a list because it's got just full-on rapiness in the beginning. The original, I never even saw the new one because I saw the original at a young age, and it was just distasteful.
Yeah.
I'm not about it. None of those make our list. Speaking, though, of movies that are remakes that did a good job of copying the original somewhat, my number 2 good bad movie
Number 2.
is The Wicker Man with Nicolas Cage.
That's a good one.
Sister Ladyflower.
They're in my eyes. They're in my eyes.
He punches that lady. He punches that, like, old lady towards the end. All-time parts of any movies is when he punches that lady in The Wicker
Yeah,
Man.
that's a good movie for sure.
That was going to be my number 1. I actually added one.
I was thinking about that, but I didn't end up really liking it too much. When I was a kid, I liked it.
It's a love-hate. You might hate it out there, audience.
I think it's strictly either you
But
like
if you
it or
like,
you don't.
if you like Nicolas Cage,
You're gonna love The
You're
Wicker Man.
fucking in.
Yeah, I agree.
It's almost like The Wicker Man with Nicolas Cage is just it's more of a Nicolas Cage movie than a remake.
Yeah.
Because it's like, this is what would happen It seems like something that would happen to Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I totally agree.
What's your number
He would get
one?
himself involved in a situation like that
Oh, yeah.
easily. It's my number 2.
Yeah, sorry.
Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Oh, I don't know that one.
So it's with Santa Claus
Oh.
goes out and kills everybody.
But
He's
it's
the
not
s-
Mel Gibson.
He's the serial killer.
Not the
Yeah,
fat
he's
man?
not the fat man.
Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Silent Night, Deadly Night. 80s slasher. Santa Claus goes out and kills whoever. He's super strong. Some dude's sledding down a hill. He pops out behind a tree, chops his head off with an axe, hangs people with Christmas lights and stuff.
Sounds good. Sounds classic.
It's a different type of movie.
I have another honorable mention in a second here, but before I get there, I'll say my number one. I'm just looking back at my text records here because I was sending to my brother this movie that's gonna make my didn't make my list because I forgot about it, but you just reminded me of it when you were talking about that era of flick. My number one good bad movie is the Blair Witch Project 2
The 2.
Book of Shadows.
Never saw that one, but I did see the original.
The original is shot famously, obviously, in that method, but the second one is not shot like first person that way. And it's almost like separate from the original story, but it's like these people go out there in a cabin and they're kind of like trying to find, that stuff. Obviously, that sounds pretty similar, but it scared the shit out of me as a kid. Book of Shadows, good bad movie. Check
I'll have
it out.
to check it out. I definitely will.
What's your number one?
My number one is a movie that came out in 1987. A lot of people consider it to be a bad movie, but it's a cult classic for sure. It has a really big following. It's called The Monster Squad.
Oh yeah,
I think I've told you about this movie before. Great fucking movie. It's like the Goonies almost meets the Universal monsters: Dracula, Frankenstein,
yeah.
Wolfman, the Mummy, Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
Great movie, great music. It's a quick, easy watch, and it's a movie you can watch over and over and over again, in my opinion. It's so good.
Squad.
The Monster Squad.
Yeah. So it's like
it's
an
great.
annual have to watch good bad horror movie.
Yeah, every season I definitely watch it. That's just it's not a movie that's ever going to be on TV. Really, it's never on TV. I've never seen it on any platform. Oh, it's been on a couple platforms like Amazon. It was on. I think it might have been on Netflix for a little bit too. But I've been watching that since I was a kid. My older brother got me into that when I was like fucking 10 years old.
Yeah. I've never seen it. I'll have to watch it.
That's a fun one. It's quick too.
That wraps it up.